A big hello to fellow teachers. Welcome to the Eduwell podcast, a show created for teachers, by teachers, with teachers. I'm Alex Bush.
And I'm Chelsea Henderson. With over 30 years of combined teaching experience, we're here to help you find balance in your professional and personal lives.
Join us as we dive into a well of information, exploring insights, strategies, and practical tips that you can apply both within and beyond your classroom.
So whether you're new to teaching or a seasoned expert, this podcast is for you. Let's be well
and do well
together. Welcome back to Eduwell, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about one of our favorite things, physical activity. We need movement in our lives just as much as the kids do. When I think of rejuvenation, I think of that glorious feeling I get after doing some solid exercise. And by solid exercise, I just mean anything that gets my heart rate up and gets me sweating. You know what I'm talking about, right, Alex?
I do. I often do a compare and contrast before I exercise about how I feel. So before I exercise, I'll be like, oh, my mood is very blah. I'm feeling kind of down, non-motivated. And I take note of that. Like usually a pretty poor attitude. And then after, I take note of how I feel. And I always have a little bit of elevation. And that's just a very, for me, tangible before exercise, after exercise. And that really works to motivate me to do the exercise.
Exactly.
And I'm not quite like you, just to be clear, Chelsea. Like sometimes my exercise is, it's a saunter. It's not a, brisk walk.
But that's what we're going to talk about today, the different types and what suits everyone's individual needs, right?
Sounds good. I like that.
Okay, so once again, our mission for the Eduwell podcast is to talk and share and connect with other teachers and experts about how to be well and do well in our work lives and in our personal lives, which is ultimately life in general, right? And we understand that life is always changing and moving and speeding up and slowing down and passing us by and surprising us and blindsiding us and exciting us.
Yeah.
And it's very different for everyone. And we all have things that we are working on, which is ultimately self-improvement. And there are so many parts of life I find that we are always juggling, especially as teachers. And sometimes we look at everything that we want to improve on and we just don't even know where to start. Now, I'm going to give my opinion here, okay?
Okay, I'm listening.
And this is not going to work for everyone. But if I were to suggest an area to begin with self-improvement, I would absolutely suggest exercise or getting some kind of movement into our lives. We cannot deny the research and the proof that moving our bodies is one of the best forms of taking care of ourselves, if done properly, of course. And I think that since moving our bodies has been proven to boost mood, like what you were talking about, and improve brain function and improve confidence, that it can help us kickstart all of these other areas we want to improve on, like productivity and mindset and nutrition. And I think for me, it's just kind of the catalyst to a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. And as you were saying all of that, it just made me think of a few points that I'm going to bring forward because, I think of exercise differently than you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, all right. So one of them is moving forward. And in life, sometimes we feel stuck or we feel things aren't going our way or we just might not be in a great space. To me, movement, especially forward movement, which is for me walking, big shock for you, big shock.
Big shock. You walk? Weird.
I walk. and
all the time.
And the walking, it for me is something that it's forward motion. It is a reminder of your own agency to be able to get from point A to point B. And then there's all the other benefits within it. So it can really break things up in a good way. And exercise for me, I have a very big long-term goal. And that is to make sure that while I'm working, of course, I am my best self, because when I'm my best self, I can help the students in my classroom. And most importantly, I can be present for my family and for myself. But the bigger picture thing is I don't want to get the idea in my head that once I retire, I will start to, or once I have the weekend, I will start to. I want health to be something that I maintain every single day so that when I do retire, I am already there. I'm already at my best health self. So I think within that context, and as I'm getting older, which, you are too, but not quite as old as me, I am really reflecting about what those days will look like and where I will be physically, emotionally, mentally at that point. And I want to be ready to go then. I don't want to just be starting focusing on my health and my exercise. I want to be strong. I want to be flexible. I want to be fit.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
Too much?
Love that.
Do you?
I almost feel like I could just wrap up this podcast right now with the takeaways because that was beautiful. So it sounds to me like you are saying you are aligning your values with the lifestyle that you desire.
For now and for later.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think very often we compartmentalize to the point where we think that I'm working so I can't be taking care of myself. And I believe it's completely the opposite. Mm-hmm. I am taking care of myself so that I can have a long life to enjoy my family and my travel and my friends and just sitting in my special chair. You know, that is why I am working on this now. And it's so important because I've been to the other end. I've been on the other end of it where everything was about work and balance and health suffered. And that's not an option for me. So I'm hoping that as you're going to bring forward a whole bunch of points in this episode about the benefits of exercise, that I'm inspired and that maybe people that are listening start realizing just that is the center because health is the new wealth, as they say. Ooh. And let's just acknowledge that I said best health self. Best health self is different for everybody. We have different physical, geographical, accessibility, financial, health and time, limitations and opportunities, and those can ebb and flow over time. So what works for us may not work for others, and hopefully listeners can take and use what they can, also knowing their body and their situations, and do what works for them.
Yeah, absolutely. The big idea here is that movement can enhance so many areas of our lives, and we all have to modify and adjust as needed and really just do what works for us.
So when I think about being a teacher and I think about the amount of time and energy that we are at school, that we are thinking about school and what we're doing while we're at school, up and down flights and flights of stairs, that right there is a workout and it kind of keeps your cardio, a little interval action. And just in general, that movement, those little sparks of energy help with moving and thinking. So let's discuss some of the ways that exercise has been made automatic for us. And I would say that this is one habit that we have down pat, and we also make it more enjoyable.
Right. So if you don't want to have a specific exercise routine, well, then you can have movement embedded right into your lifestyle. And that could be through sports would definitely be one of them, right? House cleaning could be one of them. Shoveling snow could be one of them. Maybe when you go for your walks, you don't even think of it anymore as I'm getting my exercise in. You're just doing an enjoyable activity that brings you movement, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to start an exercise routine, for instance, I have an exercise routine. I exercise from 6:30 to 7 almost every morning.
That's pretty dedicated.
And it is automatic now. I do not even think about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there are a couple of ways that a person could do this. And obviously it's whatever works for everyone else, but I'm just using myself here as an example. Now, if you really want to dig into the science of it, you might want to read Atomic Habits because there's so much fantastic information in that book. And it has really helped me start and stop certain habits in my life. And since our focus is moving our bodies, I'm just going to go over a couple of tips that helped me start this routine. So I work out in the morning and I have my workout clothes ready for when I wake up. My workout clothes consist of a t-shirt and maybe a pair of shorts. Okay, it's nothing fancy at all. And honestly, I tuck my workout clothes into the little table beside the chair where I have my coffee. There's like a little cupboard in there. So putting those workout clothes on in the morning and having it beside me right after I have my coffee is the trigger that I need to start my workout. So in the book, Atomic Habits, James Clear speaks about triggers, etc. And a lot of the ideas in that book are from another book called Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg, which I'm in the process of reading right now. But anyway, there's just so many great ideas in all of these books that are super helpful. And the thing is with the workout clothes, okay, sometimes we think having the right shoes or the right outfit or space will make us want to exercise all the time. And yeah, these little items, these mini incentives can help. But if you've bought the shoes and you've created the atmosphere and you're wearing the outfit, but you're still sitting on the couch just looking at it, then did the fun stuff really help? And that's why the starting is more important than the urge to get motivated. And so that's where these triggers come in. What's going to trigger me to start my workout? So that's why I will walk or jog my 10 minutes on the treadmill wearing the oldest, rattiest shirt I own. And quite honestly, most of the time I have slept in it. Right. And
yeah,
then I
that's
just
easy.
throw it in the wash after. Yes, I'm not getting up. I'm not changing in the morning. I don't care because it helps me get my workout in. So it's not about the bells and the whistles. It's more about the action.
It's funny when you say bells and whistles. When I first started going to the gym, I needed the bells and whistles to feel confident in the space. Mm-hmm. When I get into a really, really awesome routine for a really long time, I do not care what I'm wearing as long as it's comfortable because I know I'm doing it. Right? It's that, yeah. And then something else that you said that I'm just going to jump onto, and that is that preparation piece where you have either your stuff out ready to go, or for me, it's a bag ready to go, and that it's all completely ready. I have allowed a hair elastic to make it so that I have to cancel my gym appointment. So if I do not have everything completely ready to go, something that would cause me discomfort at the gym, like not having a proper hair elastic in hot yoga, dead serious.
Right.
I will cancel that appointment. So removing your ability to find an excuse is key. And I have to do that personally. And you also said that you sometimes go to bed in one t-shirt and work out in it. If I'm going to do something in the morning, I will often put my workout pants on at night so that I just have to get up in the morning and go and not really worry about too many steps of getting ready.
That's how you make things automatic, right? You're getting rid of any minor decisions that you might have to make. Let's say it is in the morning or maybe it is after school. That's helpful for, again, being ready, triggering yourself, and what you said about accountability, right? Like I have to have my items ready and then I'm going to do it.
Well, and one other thing is that I have to think about if I want to bail because of that hair elastic, I have to really dig deep and say, think about how you feel after that workout. Think about how you feel when you cancel that workout. Which one are you going to choose right now? And when I say the word workout, sometimes it means something, really labor intensive, and sometimes it means something really light. Just to be clear, because moving is moving and it's all valuable.
Definitely. And that relates to the 1% rule. And this is also from Atomic Habits. This is also from Tiny Habits. So you're starting with these tiny habits and then you're getting huge results, of course. This is, I'm not kidding you, the greatest strategy I have ever come across.
Okay.
Because it alleviates so much pressure. And once again, we feel a lot of pressure as teachers. This is a teacher podcast, right? So I know that this can apply to everyone and anyone, but it takes off the pressure of, okay, I have to work out vigorously for 30 minutes. No, I don't. I don't want to have that goal in the morning because then I'm not going to want to do that, right? So if we want to start anything really, we can start very small so that you can feel those positive effects, so that you can feel accomplished, which then encourages yourself. You're encouraging yourself to want to do more and to meet more of those goals.
Absolutely.
So if we were talking about starting small, I mean, I would say that I would start with a walk if I'm going to start small. I feel like that's easy for me. What would you start with?
What would I start with? The walk is one thing for me. So with the walk, I'll say, you know what? Don't even go for a big walk. Just go for a saunter. And I will really walk slow. And I'll tell myself, I'm only going to go for 10 minutes. I just need some fresh air. And then I'll build motivation with the movement. That's starting small. Another one, if I'm going to pick up, let's say, start doing a weight program for a while. I want to increase my strength. I will tell myself, okay, I'm just going to do 3 to 5 pound weights. That's all I can do today.
Yes.
I'll tell myself that. And I'll do the 3 to 5 pound weight. And I'm capable of much higher. And as the workout is progressing, I will choose to challenge myself. Sometimes for me, moving and getting exercise is I'm going to go to the mall and walk around and make a list of things that I see that I want to buy for someone for Christmas just to get up and get moving, especially in the winter. A trick like that can really help. I count that as getting up and moving. And I mean, people who work out big time and who are super, super fit might not put that into the category of moving, but I can't tell you how many you know, steps I've taken in my life that are just, kind of time bundling and accomplishing something else. So that's kind of, those are some examples of how I start. Or, for my yoga, which I love, I'll do a very easy class, like a beginner class, just to keep the routine, or just to keep some level of consistency. Because sometimes my body does not feel like doing something really excessive. And there's this balance, right, between listening to your body and not. But I mean, unless you're really flat out or seriously injured, moving is helpful, period. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And about your body and listening to yourself, these things...
What about my body, Chelsea?
These things are going to change, right? Everything is going to change. Like, in my early 30s, I was doing a lot of HIIT workouts, right? I don't do those anymore. I feel like my body's changing. I'm changing. I don't know. Maybe it's age, whatever it is. I just do more restful, relaxing workouts. And I also include vigorous workouts, but it's more of a mix now, as opposed to, 5 days a week I was doing, P90X. That was a tough one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. P90X. That was excessive.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that. I loved it. Okay, so so there's so many ways you can start small. I mean, we have YouTube. We got a 5-minute YouTube video on there. You can do 5 minutes on a treadmill, elliptical, outside, around the block, in your house. You can do something I like to call 25s. However, you can change this to something like 10s or 15s.
Sounds like my cleanup routine a little bit.
Yeah. So you got these little targets. That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do, 10 squats tomorrow. I'm going to do 11 the next day. I'm going to do 12 the day after that. And then I'm going to keep it like that for a few days. Or I'm going to do 10 squats and 15 jumping jacks and 5 push-ups today. That's a goal that... It basically setting goals that that you're going to achieve so that you can, again, build on those.
So on that one, it reminds me that sometimes I will turn music on and I will just dance around. And by the end of it, I realize that I've had quite the workout. And that's fun for me. Or an evening out with friends. If you do choose to go and you end up going dancing, that is a workout. You are moving for hours on end. And if you look at your Fitbit, if you have one, or an Apple Watch or whatever it is, you realize, my heart rate went up and it didn't feel like exercise. I love exercise when you don't realize you're exercising too. That's the best.
Well, that's the thing about physical activity. It connects you to these basic human needs like social connection or, moving to the rhythm of music, moving to the beat brings you joy. And then that boosts your mood and that makes you want to go hang out with people, So I don't know. It's all very connected and very, very important.
And I think that when we build a culture where we connect with other human beings based on movement, it takes away the element of beginning, middle, end, going to the gym. And it widens the lens of opportunity to get exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun times. You're making exercise sound fun for me.
It's the
I'm
best.
getting motivated.
I love exercise. Another thing we can do when we're exercising, here's something I also enjoy, is to use a visual tracker, especially if you're trying to make it a habit. Use a visual tracker to track your workouts. It feels good to see that you're meeting your goals. So make a visual that you can be proud of each day. And of course, my favorite thing, keep it simple. You can download an app if you want to. I just use Google Calendar. I used to have...
Wait, I'm shocked. This is throwing me off. You use Google Calendar to organize yourself on workouts too? Okay.
I love Google Calendar. Okay, so I have a task set each day that says workout. And I love the feeling of pressing mark as completed. So you can even just use a highlighter to mark the days on your calendar. Seeing the accomplishments at the end of the week or of the month can be honestly a solid motivator to just keep on going with this. I love it. That's the Seinfeld thing, right? How did he get better at telling jokes and his comedy routines? He said he wrote every day, and every day that he wrote jokes, he put a big red X on his calendars, right? We know that one.
Right. And then what are your whys? I think remembering why you're doing it. And if you remember, I'm doing it so that I feel good every day. I'm doing it so that I get that exercise glow. I'm doing it so that I can be around as long as I can for myself, for my family, for my friends, with myself, with my family. I'm doing it because I want to travel when I'm this old. Those will kind of reset your priorities and remind you that you need health to be able to accomplish all the things that you may want to accomplish. Work, social, self, all of it. Exercise is making it better.
It's like the seed that makes everything grow.
Well, the water, the air, and the sunshine. Deep
Good
thoughts.
visual.
Really?
Deep
Thank
thoughts.
you.
Love it.
You started it with the seed. I watered it. This is really fun.
Thank you for watering that
You're
seed.
welcome. I appreciate it. Keep on planting these seeds of exercise motivation for me. Go. I need to hear more, please.
Okay, so I'm just going to add one more thing here, and it's related to what we were saying before about movement with other people. Get a buddy for accountability. For the most part, I am a lone exerciser because it's also my time to think. I call it my think time. And I get to be alone with my thoughts. I've done this since I was 15 years old. It helps me clear my head. It's where my ideas come in. Or I'm listening to music. And while I'm listening to music, I'm also still thinking. I have many thoughts in my head, as I'm sure you do.
Oh, yeah. Always thinking.
But I do like to have a buddy on walks. So I know that you and we walk all the time. And I do want to mention this. I have to mention this.
Okay.
And this is involved with, all of the wonderful things that can stem from physical activity. Is you started walking at school. And what you've done, you started walking in the gym, or you walk in the hallways and up the stairs and down the stairs at lunch, or even in the morning and even after school, you do that.
Yeah.
And what you did was you created a community of walkers. Because you've got people joining you in the gym, on the stairs, and it's just an amazing time for great conversations while getting physical activity. And it's just a great way to see a different side of colleagues and enjoy hanging out with the people you work with while you're not working.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Those conversations, sometimes they're troubleshooting sessions about work or about life. And we have great walks and talks. And I always have an opportunity to walk with different people and to hear different viewpoints and different perspectives. And I always walk away from a walk feeling refreshed and hopeful. I never walk away feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Never. Never.
Always positive benefits.
Totally. So yeah, no, if you can incorporate it into your work life, it's very beneficial on so many different ends. So yeah.
And one of the reasons I do my workouts in the mornings is because it brings me such a positive energy. And I feel like I really need that before going into my classroom. It has made a huge difference for me, switching my time from after school, which is what I used to do, to the mornings now. It's just helpful for my career. Every day I'm going into work.
Right. And if your life changed, would you give yourself, are you the type of person that can change if your life changed and move your workout somewhere else? Can you move and go with the flow? Okay.
I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to share a quick story because this all of this talk has reminded me of something. And that is that I recently had, it wasn't a big deal, but I had an injury. And I think I probably made it into a bigger deal just so that I could avoid the time that it takes for me to go to some of my favorite classes. And those are some yoga classes. And so I took more time off like I often do than I should have. And then when I went back, it was so hard to feel comfortable, to be part of the routine. And I just said to a friend the other day, like, I don't know how I used to do 2 hours 3 times a week. I don't know how I did it. And the person said, well, it's because you had habits. And that goes to the Atomic Habits book. So it did become easy for me to go all the time. And I remember people being like, wow, you're going, that's a lot. That's very consistent. And you never miss, eh? And I really didn't unless I had a meeting I had to go to. And it just became a part of my life, like breathing.
Yes.
And once I lost it, it is the starting that makes it so hard. And like I said, I repeat, I will let a hair elastic or the wrong pair of runners or a seam that's bothering me under my arm, I will let it make me cancel a gym appointment.
Yep.
So I really, right now, I'm working hard to remove my excuses because it's hard once you start back up.
It is. And you're right. We fall out of our habits. And we've talked about this before too. I mean, for me, it's always Christmas time. I always have to get back into my more rigid exercise routine after Christmas. And you can start again, but using these tiny goals, these mini tasks to get you there, that always works for me. So I always just start with 5 minutes on the treadmill. And, within days, I'm back.
Yeah.
So it's just a great strategy. But yeah, we all fall out of our habits. I mean, sorry, maybe not all of us, but It happens to me.
Well, it happens to me, and I'm glad it happens. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but I am glad that it happens to you because I look to you as somebody who is invested in your health and in your exercise, and that's how I've always known you. I've always known you to be someone who's athletic. For those listening, Chelsea's super athletic. She's one of those naturals.
Okay, time out.
Can I share the story about how we went skate skiing? Was it skate skiing? Is that what it's called?
Skate skiing.
Yeah,
That's
did we share that story? So a colleague taught Chelsea and I how to skate ski. And, we both struggled at first. And then all of a sudden, Chelsea was just like whipping down the trail. And our colleague, who I absolutely adore, turns to me and said, wow, like Chelsea she's one of those people that has like a good grasp of physicality, and she's just naturally athletic, as I'm falling on my face and on my tuchus. And I was like, yes, she does. That's an intelligence that you have. So of many.
I will take that.
Take it.
All right. What do you figure? We're going to wrap things up?
Yeah, because I want to go and do a workout. How about you?
I know. I feel like we have to get up and start moving. We need to do a walking meeting now.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. All right. Here are our takeaways. Number 1, keep things simple. You don't need bells and whistles to move your body.
Number 2, set those mini goals for huge results.
Number 3, try using a visual tracker to help with motivation. Seeing results brings results.
Number 4, get a buddy. Even a teacher buddy.
We are teachers, and don't be so hard on yourself. Start where you are and build from there.
Teachers, thank you so much again for tuning into EduWell. As always, we are walking with you in this journey of finding some equilibrium in our life and in our work. So please do join us next time for a discussion on what type of small habits we are implementing that are giving us big results at home.
Until then, be well
and do well.